Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the new series. My name is Pooja Dwivedi. Today we are going to discuss, are civilians going to take up arms against militants? The recent activities or recent incidents of rising militancy in Jammu and Kashmir has raised fresh demands in the favor of this idea. Now VDCs or VDGs are not a new concept. It is a concept which was implemented in the 1990s against rising militant activities in Jammu and Kashmir. So there are fresh demands. We will talk about certain issues, controversies related to it. We will also discuss the concept of it as well as the way forward. So without any further ado, from the perspective of GS mains paper, second and third, it is important to understand these many points from the perspective of the news. First of all, let us go point-wise. Militants have killed 6 people in 2 days in Upper Dangri village of Jammu and Kashmir, and because of this, locals have demanded that they should be provided with weapons to take on the attackers. Also, in response to this, the Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir says that people would get Village Defence Committee on the lines of those in Doda district of Jammu and Kashmir. So we are going to discuss that only. So now if we have to discuss, first of all, we have to discuss, of course, the VDC. VDC is a concept that was implemented in 1995 in 10 districts of the Jammu region. It was having an aim. It had the aim to fight militants in far-off places. And back then, around 26,567 locals were recruited through them. Now, Village Defence Guard, this is a new scheme. It is a little different from VDCs. We will talk about that as well. Village Defence Guards, it's a new scheme. It was approved by the Union Government of Home Affairs, March 2022. And here, each VDG will be provided a gun and 100 rounds of ammunition. So, as you see, that this idea is not very new. Now, under the new scheme, the persons leading the VDGs, they will be paid rupees 45,000 per month by the government, while the others will get rupees 4,000 each. And in the VDCs, only the special police officer led them. They were provided with a monthly stipulated amount of 1,500 rupees. Now, the SPOs used to be at the retired army, paramilitary or police personnel. So, it is not like some new civilian, a voluntary, a person such as me. If I am not fulfilling these criteria, I wouldn't become the SPO. Now, this current one, VDGs, will function under the direct supervision or the direction of the SP or SSP of the district, whatever district is concerned. So, this is the difference. Now, the need, if I have to talk about back in the 1990s, militancy began in Kashmir. In one district, it started spreading in many districts, And then, the final straw was the massacre of 13 people in Kashmir in 1993, when people started demanding such a concept to be implemented. Then this concept was expanded to the other areas of Jammu and Kashmir, including Udhampur, Riyasi, Rajouri, Poonch, Kathua, even Samba district. Okay. And the current demand is because of the rising targeted killing of certain religious groups over there. Also, as Lieutenant Governor says, many liberal Muslims also have been killed. Moving ahead now, because we are going back to the idea of it, then of course, how did the idea of armed civilians came into being? It all came into being during the 1965 and 1971 Indo-Pak wars, when the government armed ex-servicemen and able-bodied youth in villages along the border to guard the borders against the infiltration of the Pakistan spies. Apart from being bodily involved in combat, they were also involved in giving secrets of such infiltrations to the army. So this was very successful. This idea was very successful back then, because local people are very well versed with the terrain. They know things which a person or an army officer who has been transferred to that region might not be knowing. So this is one of the reasons. Now currently, if we have to talk about the contribution and controversies, let us see the contributions first. Chenab Valley and Pir Panjal regions, the hill of Udhampur and Riyasi Kathua district. These regions have very tough topography. There are certain regions, as I already told you, that the civilians only knew. They are very well aware of the climatology, the topography, and that is why their contribution here worked a lot. The poor road networks delayed the arrival of security forces. So back then, the possibility of having civilians stationed there, it helped a lot. So security forces, even if they were delayed, the arrival was delayed, we had to ensure that security is not threatened. They averted many militant attacks and also helped in the capture and killing. And there are certain controversies which are related to the VDGs. First is allegation of human rights violation and other crimes. Many a times as it has happened that such people started resorting to human, crimes against humanity such as rape, murder, etc., etc. Now, as per official figures placed on the floor of the erstwhile Jammu and Kashmir Legislative Assembly back in 2016, it was seen that 27,924 civilians were serving in 4,248 VDCs across the state, and out of them 221 FIRs were registered. These FIRs included 23 cases of murder, 7 cases of rape, writing 15, and NDPS Act of 3, and then 169 other cases were also there. So these were the reported ones. We do not know what about the unreported ones. So what happens that because of such cases, there were lot of clamor in favor of disbanding the VDCs in 2002. But the government did not do anything like this. It stopped supporting the VDCs as of course, comparatively, if we have to compare the support of the earlier years, it was stopped, but it wasn't disbanded. Number of VDC members had dropped significantly. Some were embroiled in criminal cases. Some were not getting the stipulated amount, so they surrendered the weapons that were given to them. And many people also were disenchanted with the VDC. So numbers dropped. But now there is a fresh demand of VDGs and VDCs. Because of the spurt, a spurt was witnessed in infiltration along the borders of Jammu and Kashmir. Drones were also used to drop weapons and explosives and cache at various places. So these have to be checked. Where the army cannot go, our civilians can go. So this all happened near the borders of Jammu, Samba and Kathua district. Also, there have been cases of 186 militants being captured or killed. See, here it included 56 foreigners, they were killed. 98 successful encounters in Jammu and Kashmir were conducted in 2022. And this year saw a 37% decline when we talk about youth enrollment in terrorist ranks. And this is the comparative percentage of 2021 and 2022. So in 2022, there is a drop. Something is working in favor. Now, total of 649 people were booked under PSA for supporting militancy. 55 vehicles were seized and 28 houses attached for being used in militant activities. So, yes, civilians can be of huge help over here. But there is a way forward to this. First of all, even if we are giving designated ranks to specialized people, we should ensure that training and specialization in terms of technology has to be done, has to be given to these civilians. Apart from that, we also have to give them proper weapon support, and we should ensure that accountability lies with the leader of the VDG and of course the SP and SSP and other important officials of the district. Apart from that, if any such cases occur of murder, rape or any crime against humanity, justice delivery mechanism should be fast enough so that transparency, accountability and security can be ensured and assured. So let me take the names of those students who have answered the last question correctly. D was the correct answer. Rupal, Archana, Tech HK, Simran, Satakshi, N Vaishnavi, Ashish, Rahul, Sai Teja, Rohit, Raghavendra, Akhil, Puneet and Deependra have answered it correctly. Apart from them, Arif has answered it correctly. Barun, Pallavi Jangir, Soumya, Shirley, Sagarika, Srinivas, yes. Then Shubham, Shifa, Tushita, Ramveer, Mukesh, Anushri, Vivek, Anita, Anuj Singh, Rahul Pal and Tanu Singh. Thank you so much for answering the last question. You have to answer the next question again so that I can announce your names and stay updated. Thank you so much for watching.